live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Very warm welcome to the national news broadcast of Rupavahini on ChannelEye. I'm Dilanjali Anand. Joining me is Dishan Virakul. And these are the top stories which have made headlines for tonight. The Lunar power plant reactivated. Renovation of Anuradhapura Omanthe segment of the Northern Railway line begins. Pattiripur of the fake Dalada Maligawa has been demolished. 2 political parties and 5 independent groups have made their deposits for the polls. 2 ceremonies held in Colombo to commemorate late Prime Minister SWRD Bandaranaike. Income from rubber exports is increasing. Pakistan economic crisis deepens. Price of goods goes high.
Now moving on into those and other stories in detail. Now the generator in the Noracholi coal power plant, which was inactivated, was restarted today.
The generator is temporarily stopped on the 23rd of December as the coal stocks were not sufficient and for a maintenance purpose as well. There are 3 generators in the Noracholi coal power plant. The first generator is the one which was stopped. It was restarted yesterday and will add power to the national grid from today. Meanwhile, unloading coal from a ship is being conducted at present. Ceylon Electricity Board says that another shipment will arrive in the island tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Electricity Board told the national television that hydropower plants make 30% contribution to the national grid these days. The amount contributed yesterday was 33%. It is reported that the hydropower reservoirs are full up to 73%. Meanwhile, Venerable Omar Besopithathera, conducting a media briefing, has requested the public to switch off electricity from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. today in protest of increasing the electricity tariff. The Thera expressed his views regarding this at a ceremony held in the Kegol area today. Obtaining 6.9 million signatures for a petition against the power tariff hike was held today at the Mirigama town as well. It has been organized by the Electricity Consumers Association. Now, the renovation work of the Anuradhapura to Omanthe segment of the Northern Railway line commenced today.
Now the aim of this task is to provide safe, efficient and comfortable transport facilities to commuters. Many passengers are keen on using train for their transport needs. The Jaffna-Colombo railway service is a common transport mode that saves time and money for the commuters. Although it was properly functioned for a long time, it was hampered after the year 1990. In 2014, it was reopened. The Anuradhapura to Omanthe segment of the Northern Line has not been renovated for years. Therefore, the speed limitations were imposed due to the dilapidated condition of the line. Accordingly, the renovation of this segment was commenced under the patronage of Minister Bandula Gunawardena at the Medavache railway station. Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Gopal Bagle, several politicians and some guests were present at this moment. The renovation process is done under an Indian company, ERCOM. Under Indian aid assistance, a sum of 33 billion rupees has been allocated for this purpose. At the first stage, 48 kilometers from Anuradhapura to Vaunia will be refurbished. Later, the 13-kilometer segment from Vaunia to Omanthe will be modernized. After renovation, a maximum speed of 120 kilometers per hour can be maintained. Commuters will have safe journey and the time taken from Jaffna to Colombo can be reduced by about 1 hour. Another benefit of this renovation is that the new railway station will be constructed at Buoya. The relevant segment of the railway line will remain closed for about 5 months due to construction. During this period, a special program has been implemented to provide transport facilities from Anuradhapura to Jaffna for the commuters. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the country is unable to start new development projects as the country has faced a severe economic and foreign exchange crisis. And now in such a situation, the Indian government has granted this financial assistance, removing a major setback against the development of the Northern Railway line. The government will pay gratitude and respect to the Indian government and the Indian High Commissioner for the support extended at this difficult moment. This railway line was completely destroyed during the war period.
විශේෂ බාර අමාත්‍යවරයා වශයෙන් මගේ ගෞරවයත් ස්තුතියත් ප්‍රණාමයත් පුද කරන්නට කැමැතියි. මේ දුම්රිය මාර්ගය උතුරු නැගෙනහිර යුද ගැටුම් කරන කොටගෙන සම්පූර්ණ විනාශයට පත් වෙලා තිබුණු උතුරු දුම්රිය මාර්ගය.
We are also working very closely with the government of Sri Lanka. We are also working very closely with the government of Sri Lanka to resume connectivity between India and Sri Lanka through the port of Kanke Santurai and God willing thereafter through Talai Minar to Rameshwar. This connectivity is important because it not only brings our people together, but because it gives the Sri Lankan economy the strength to stand and recover. Particularly at this time when Sri Lanka requires more tourists to come, when Sri Lanka requires more trade with India on beneficial terms, I think this is one of those steps which are going to help not only greater connectivity, not only greater people-to-people ties, but of course it is going to help Sri Lanka's economic recovery and Sri Lanka's progress.
Prior to the launch of construction work, Minister Bandula Gunawardena and the Indian High Commissioner participated in religious observances at the Jayashree Mabodhiya and the Ruwanweli Mahasaya in Anuradhapura to obtain blessings for the project. Later, they met Atamasthanathipati Venerable Pallegama Hema Ratanathera and Chief Incumbent of the Ruwanweli Saya Venerable Itala Vetunuwave Gnanathilaka Thera to receive blessings.
Now, demolishing the Pattiripua replica of the fake Dalada Maligawa constructed at Vadakanda area in Kurunagala started today. Many parties filed objections for this construction. Mahanayakov, Malwata and Asgiriya chapters have also informed the President regarding the construction of this fake Dalada Maligawa replica in Vadakanda area. Accordingly, 2 special teams of the CID have visited the area to look into this matter. Several other parties had also expressed their objections regarding this building. It is reported that the part of the building similar to Pattiripur in Kandi Dalada Maligawa is being removed since this morning. Now, 2 accepted political parties and 5 independent groups have made deposits for the local government polls. Democratic Leftist Front yesterday made their deposits for a local government body in the Vaunia district.
Accepting deposits for the local government polls started on the 4th of this month. Time has been allocated for this purpose until 12 noon of the 20th of this month. An independent group made the deposits yesterday for a local government body in the Kandy district. The Election Commission has announced that another independent group has deposited money for a local government institution in the Colombo district. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna made their deposits for 17 local government bodies in the Kaltara district on the 5th of this month. Election Commissioner General Saman Sri Ratnayaka says that the polls should be conducted and names of the elected candidates should be notified by a gazette before the 19th of March. Nominations are accepted from the 18th to the 21st of this month. Accepting nominations for the polls will end at 12 noon on the 21st. A time duration of 1.5 hours have been allocated to file objections, and under the guidance of the Election Commission, the returning officers will be able to declare the date of the election on the same day. The local government bodies should be function at any circumstances. If the minister who is responsible for the local government subject likes, then he will be able to dissolve the local government body under the present circumstances. Now, the signing of the nomination papers of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna for the Ratnapura district was held at the Ratnapura Municipal Council today under the patronage of Parliamentarian Pavitra Wanyarachi. State Ministers Premalal Jayasekara and Janaka Vakkumbura were also present at this occasion. Colombo District Parliamentarian Mano Ganeshan says that the Tamil Progressive Alliance will contest the local government polls jointly with the Sambhi Janabalavege. He made these comments following a function held in Hatton today.
The 124th birth anniversary of late Prime Minister S.W.R.D. Bandaranaike falls today. 2 commemoration programs have been held in Colombo today to mark this event. The commemoration ceremony organized by the Bandaranaike Samadhi Foundation was held in front of the Bandaranaike Memorial Monument at the Goldface Green under the patronage of former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Sunithra Bandaranaike and several guests were present at this occasion. Chief Incumbent of Attanagala Raja Mahaviharaya, Dr. Venerable Pannila Anand Thera, conducted the religious observances at this ceremony. Meanwhile, another commemoration ceremony was held at the SLFP headquarters at the Dali Road, Colombo, under the patronage of former President Maithripala Sirisena. Now, the designation of editor of Sunday leader Lasantha Wickrematunge completed 14 years today.
Now, to mark this occasion, the lighting of lamps and floral tributes were made at his gravesite at the Borallas Cemetery this morning. Family relations, friends and some guests were present at this occasion. Lasantha Wickrematunge was assassinated on the 8th of January 2009.
Now, the export income of the rubber and allied products has increased by 39% compared to year 2021. State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya says that the amount of imported rubber materials has increased by 93%. He made these remarks at a media briefing held in Ruanwala this morning. Accordingly, Sri Lanka has received an income of $1,463 million from rubber exports last year. State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya said that Sri Lanka had earned $1,050 million from rubber exports in 2021. It has increased up to $1,463 million last year. In the year 2021, 22,000 metric tons have been imported as a rubber raw material. In the year 2022, the amount has decreased to 1,547 metric tons. It is 93% decline. This situation must be further maintained and exporting rubber and allied products increased in order to protect rubber cultivators.
Now, a group of representatives from the Thailand government reached the island this morning to take part in the third round of discussions regarding the proposed free trade agreement between Sri Lanka and Thailand. Now, this group includes 26 members.
Director of the Thailand Trade Negotiations Department, Auraman Suptavikun, leads the delegation. The relevant negotiations will be held in Colombo tomorrow and the day after. They will focus special attention to trade of goods and services, investments, rules of origin, custom cooperation and trade facilities and economic cooperation and so on.
Now, it is a great merit to provide a place for having treatment to ailing bhikkhus who have dedicated their entire life to the Buddha Sasana. Now, our attention has been focused today towards such a bhikkhu hospital. This is an indigenous hospital constructed for the benefit of Sikh bhikkhus. Lord Buddha has preached that health is supreme wealth for both clergy and laymen. In many instances, when a layman falls ill, his relations will come forward to look after him. However, if a monk falls ill, there may be none to look after him at some instances. This treatment centre has been constructed at the Pahalagiri Bava area in Mahagal, Kadavala. This place has facilities for 15 inmate Sikh monks at a time. This hospital is named as Sila Suwa Herath Bhikkhu Gilan Arana. This has been constructed under an idea of Venerable Solevava Chandra Siri Thera and under the guidance of Venerable Panduvasnura Dhamma Rama Thera. Staff of this rest home provide their service voluntarily. The inmate bhikkhus will be provided with medicinal and herbal food and beverages at this centre. A sum of 10,000 rupees is needed for as daily expenses. Devotees and well-wishers have the opportunity to contribute financial assistance to this centre through dialling of 0777 800 062. Now, wild elephants encroaching some main roads in the island is increasing.
The main reason for this is the green pastures are submerged at water levels of the tanks and reservoirs increased due to torrential rains. It is a very common scene that people use to feed the wild elephants beside the main roads. Wild elephants often cross the roads and sometimes are waiting either side of the roads expecting food from the passengers. This has caused threat to vehicular movements and at times wild elephants tend to attack vehicles and the passengers. Some local and foreign tourists are also attempting to take photographs or video these elephants at the close proximity. People say that this is a very dangerous situation. Passengers should not feed such elephants roaming around the roadside. When there is no food, the elephants tend to go back to the jungle. On the other hand, feeding wild animals is an offence under the existing laws. Meanwhile, human-elephant conflict in the Orugalyaya area in Tambuttegama is increasing. Wild elephants has destroyed over 30 acres of crops in the Telsiriyava and Kotlalpura areas. Farmers request the authorities to direct this herd of wild elephants to a forest reserve.
Now taking a look at your weather update for today, the Met Department says that many areas in the island will receive rains today. Rains over 50 millimeters will occur at some areas. Several spells of rain will fall in the north, central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Matale district. Showers or thunder showers will occur in the western and Sabargamu provinces and the Gaul, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts in the evening or at night. Heavy showers over 50 millimeters will occur in some places in the Sabargamu province and Kalutara and Gaul districts. The Met Department requests the public to take measures to prevent accidents caused by temporarily localized winds and lightning.
The brand Sunlight has launched a program titled Manu Damata Vadiyamak on the 1st of January this year. Their aim is to support the people who are willing to help others.
Sunlight සන්නාමය හඳුන්වලා දෙන්නට වෙන වචන අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. කොහොමත් වසර 135ක් පුරා පරම්පරා ගණනාවක් තිස්සේ අපේ හදවතේ රැඳෙන වෙන සන්නාමයක් නෙමෙයි. අපි මේ ලාංකිකයන්ට මනුදමයට වැඩි යමක් කළ යුතුයි.
Now, under this program, 100 projects have been organized. Further details are available on the Facebook page Sunlight Sri Lanka. And with that, we go for the foreign break. We'll be back with international stories after the break.
மகள் காலையிலேயே வந்துட்டீங்க?
வீட்டுக்கு கூட்டிட்டு வந்தது தெரிஞ்சதும் அவசரமா வந்தோம்.
அம்மள சந்தோஷத்தை பாருங்க.
இல்லாம இருக்குமா? பேரப்பிள்ளை கிடைச்சிருக்கே.
உள்ள வாங்க. இந்தாங்க தம்பி, பிள்ளை எதிர்காலத்தை பத்தியே சிந்தித்து எடுத்த பரிசு.
தம்பி ஆபீஸ்ல உள்ளவங்களும் குழந்தையின் எதிர்காலத்தை சிந்தித்தே பரிசுகள் கொண்டாந்தாங்க.
இந்த காலத்து பிள்ளைகளும் எங்களை போல எதிர்காலத்தை பத்தி யோசிக்கிறாங்க.
குழந்தைக்கு வழங்கக்கூடிய புத்தி சாதுரியமான பரிசு மக்கள் வங்கியின் இசுரூதான பரிசு சான்றிதழ்.
China has reopened its borders to international visitors for the first time since it imposed travel restrictions in March 2020.
Now, incoming travelers will no longer need to quarantine, making a significant change in the country's COVID policy as it battles a surge in COVID cases. China's Spring Festival travel rush, the largest annual human migration worldwide, kicked off yesterday after the world's most populous country adjusted its COVID-19 response. Hundreds of millions of people are swarming train stations, airports and coach terminals across the country for family reunions on the Lunar New Year's Eve, which falls on January the 21st. In the past 2 years, most Chinese people stayed put amid virus curbs during the festival, but a stark change has begun to emerge. The travelers will still require proof of a negative PCR test taken within 48 hours of traveling. The move has been welcomed by many eager to reunite with family. In Hong Kong, 400,000 people are expected to travel into mainland China in the coming weeks, with long queues for flights into cities including Beijing and Xiamen. The country's reopening comes at the start of Chungyun, the first period of Lunar New Year travel. Before the pandemic, it was the largest annual worldwide migration of people returning home to spend time with family. 2 billion trips are expected to be made this Lunar New Year, doubling the number that traveled last year.
Now, amid dwindling forex reserves and an unstable government at the helm of affairs, there is a massive shortage of flour in Pakistan's Lahore. The prices of flour have gone up in the city and the commodity was not available across most shops in the second most popular city in Pakistan. Pakistan media reported that a 15-kilogram flour bag costs 2,050 rupees after an increase of rupees 300 in 2 weeks. Besides this, flour prices have also been hiked in Pakistan's capital city Islamabad and the country's fourth largest city Rawalpindi within the span of 2 days. A 15-kilo flour bag sells for 1,915 rupees after an increase of 40 rupees from rupees 1,875 in both these cities. Officials said the hike in prices of flour can be attributed to mismanagement between the food department and flour mills. The Chief Secretary of Punjab has already taken notice of the flour crisis in these cities. The Shehbaz Sharif-led Pakistan government hiked the prices of wheat flour, sugar and ghee by 20% to 62% for sale through the Utility Stores Corporation with immediate effect to reduce the impact of untargeted subsidies.
Now moving on from Pakistan to the UK, tens of thousands of railway workers in the United Kingdom continued their strike yesterday after the multi-day strike of rail, maritime and transport workers disrupting rail traffic. The ongoing strike has left only about a fifth of British rail service running, disrupted some half of the service network and shut down most of Wales, Scotland and rural England for the entire day. The network rail has urged people to make reductions in rail travel. The union said that the strike will continue as it is unable to reach a reasonable agreement with the employers. Unite, one of the largest trade unions in the UK, said that the British ambulance staff will go on strike on January 23rd, calling on the government to resolve the pay dispute. More than 2,600 ambulance workers in Wales and other places will also go on strike at the end of January. In recent months, the UK has suffered the worst wave of strikes since the 1980s, causing serious paralysis in a number of industries, including healthcare. After more than a decade of stagnant wage growth, inflation is soaring, leaving many people struggling to make ends meet, leading to continued strikes.
The Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky declared the unilateral ceasefire ordered by Russian President Vladimir Putin over the Orthodox Christmas a failure. Ukraine's President Zelensky said that they said something about a supposed ceasefire, but the reality is that Russian shells have again hit Bakhmut and other Ukrainian positions. The founder of Russia's most high-profile mercenary group, Wagner, said he wanted these forces and the regular Russian army to capture the town of Bakhmut because it possessed underground cities that can hold troops and tanks. The city's Russian-appointed governor said Russia air defenses shot down a drone yesterday over a breakwater near Sevastopol, the naval base of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. President Putin praised the Russian Orthodox Church for supporting the Moscow's forces fighting in Ukraine in the Christmas message. The 19 people died and 20 were injured in eastern China after a truck ran through a funeral procession early this morning.
The incident had taken place in Nanchang County in eastern China's Jiangxi province, adding that the injured had been sent to hospital and an investigation was underway. The incident occurred when a truck hit a funeral procession. More than 60 people had been walking along the roadside before heading to the crematorium. Nanchang County Traffic Police said that some parts of the area were encountering heavy, foggy weather. Road accidents are common in China due to a lack of strict safety controls. Last month, one person died due to a highway pileup in central China that involved hundreds of vehicles and was caused by low visibility in fog.
Now, as Tet holiday nears, more and more people are buying peach and apricot flowers to welcome the new year. Tet Yuen Dan is known as Festival of the first day of the year. Gardeners in Vietnam, in addition to taking care of plants, are also creating in getting in Asian peach trees to bloom in Mo for Tet. Climate conditions in Mok Chau district in Zon La province are favorable for growing peach trees. The Vietnam gardeners take measures to prevent trees from being infected and shape the trees to create beautiful bonsai trees. Many gardeners in Mok Chau have claimed that the majority of pre-ordered peach trees will bloom on schedule. As the weather in Mok Chau is cold, peach blossoms will blossom more slowly than in the plains. Peach blossoms are indispensable for Vietnamese people during Tet. Peach blossoms in Mok Chau are special than those from all other regions due to its durability and bright colors. With a high demand for peach blossoms for Tet holiday, gardeners hope to sell all their trees before the Lunar New Year arrives. Now, My Sari, My Pride, Ek Virasat celebrates 75 hand-woven saris of India, a month-long unique festival of traditional handloom saris.
Now, the festival is organized for the promotion of handloom goods and increase of sales for viewers. Virasat exhibition showcases Indian weavers and their tradition. This is the second phase of the festival, as the first phase of Virasat was held in December the 22nd. The festival will also showcase the products of women weavers from rural parts of the country and their skills in making silk and embroidery expensive saris.
Defeated by India at the third and final T20 match, and that was by a disappointed scenario where Sri Lanka lost the opportunity of having a record historic victory, and the match was held in Rajkot. And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at 8:50 p.m. for the very latest on Channel I. I'm Dilanjali together with Dishan signing off. Good night.
Good night.